Lecture number 8, chapter number 7, integrals. Here we'll talk about definite integral. Till now we have studied about indefinite integral. So basically in the previous sections we have studied about the indefinite integral and discussed various methods at how to solve integration, especially integration that is related to the indefinite integral, and we have discussed about some special functions also. So this thing we have already covered. Now here we'll talk about that what is definite integral of a function, and the definite integral has a unique value. So that means what I want to say, the only difference between indefinite integral and definite integral is the limit. So here we'll have the lower limit and the upper limit. These are the terms, constant terms you will be getting for evaluating the value of definite integral with the help of limits once you will be solving the integration. So whenever I am talking about the definite integral, we'll have two varieties. Either we need to solve the question like how to solve the antiderivative. You need to calculate the integration, and after that you need to apply upper limit minus lower limit. That means if it has an antiderivative, then in the interval AB, what you need to do, the value of the difference between the values. That means whatever answer I am getting, that answer will be in terms of x. What you need to do, you need to do upper limit minus lower limit. So this is the first method you need to apply while solving definite integral. And second method is by applying limit as a sum. So whenever we'll start with the topic of definite integral, in exercise 7.8 we'll discuss about limit as a sum, how to calculate definite integral using limit as a sum, and later we'll start with the concept of antiderivative. Now what is the difference between these two methods? I want to tell you about this. See, if I am saying definite integral as the limit of a sum, let's suppose this function is given, a and b is given, fx dx is given. So this formula you need to apply, that above one, definite integral as the limit of sum. So there, lower limit, upper limit, this equation you need to remember. A is your lower limit, h tends to 0, where nh is upper limit minus lower limit. So this algorithm, whenever I will start, then I will tell you how to apply this formula in the algorithm. So that proof is not required, the only formula you need to remember for solving the questions. Now if I'll talk about next method is, let's suppose I am having a to b fx dx. Whenever I am integrating, let's suppose after integrating I am getting answer as fx plus c you used to write whenever you are doing for indefinite integral. After that I said you need to write the limit also, b and a, upper limit minus lower limit. That means f of b minus f of a, how you are getting? Firstly you need to put the value of x as upper limit. So f of b plus c you will get this, minus lower limit. So this function is, x will become a, constant will remain same. Now constant will become cancel out, and finally you will be getting f of b minus f of a. That's why in the above situation, whenever I am writing antiderivative, final answer is this. Why this is the final answer? We have already given you, I have already given you the proof for this, that plus c will become cancel out. So there is no constant term exist in the definite integral, but in the indefinite integral of course we will be having. So today in this exercise we'll start with definite integral as the limit of a sum. So we need to rigid with this formula. Now these three formulas, sum of n terms, sum of square of n terms, and sum of cube of n terms, we are going to use it just to evaluate definite integral as a limit of sum. Now see the questions carefully, because the same method I need to apply everywhere. Question is this. Now do not think that ma'am, why we are not supposed to do this question directly. Yes, we can do it, but if in the question it's written that you need to do this question as a limit of sum, then you need to apply the whole algorithm. If I want to do directly, then what will be your answer? Integration is x by 2, upper limit minus lower limit. So final answer you will be getting like this. So why I am calculating? Just for cross checking that I will definitely get this answer. But if in the paper you will be doing like this, you will get 0 mark, because in this they will be saying you that you need to attempt as a limit of sum. Now what is the formula for limit of a sum? This thing you need to remember every time. Fx dx limit h tends to 0, h f of a plus h, f of a plus 2h, plus so on, f of a plus n minus 1h, where nh is b minus a. Now here b and a are not, of course these are the constant terms, but right now I am not having any numerical value, so we will be getting answer like this. Now see, what is your function? Function is fx. A to b will remain same. Fx is x dx. Okay. Limit h tends to 0. H will remain same. What you need to do? F of a. If I'll talk about f of a. If f of x is x, then f of a is a. F of a plus h is a plus h. F of a plus 2h is a plus 2h. And this will become a plus n minus 1h. Now see, limit h tends to 0, h. H I am getting how many times? N minus 1 times plus 1. So that means n times. So I can take a terms together. How many times I am having a? N times. So n into a plus h terms I am taking together. So I will be getting n minus 1h like this. So limit h tends to 0, h n a, h I am taking common. I am getting 1 plus 2 plus n minus 1. I told you that this formula I need to apply. If I'll talk about the formula, what I need to apply? NaH, formula is n plus 1 by 2. This formula you have applied. Now what you need to do? Number of h should be equivalent to number of n. That means whenever I am multiplying h with these two terms, for sure I am not getting any n extra. H can be extra, it will tends to 0 later on after solving, but you will be not getting any n extra. So what I want to say basically, if I'll take h inside, this will become NHA. One NH will be like this, and I am having one more h. So one h I am taking with this n term, and next h I am taking with this term. So I am getting NH plus h. I told you that h can be extra, but n never ever can be extra. It will be in the form of NH. In the exercise, you will be getting some other algorithm that will be 1 upon infinity. So that will remain the same. So either you can go with this algorithm or with the NCERT textbook algorithm. So this is your wish. So this is simpler for you. That's why I'm doing. Okay. Limit h tends to 0 will remain the same. Value of NH we have already calculated, which is b minus a. So now put the value of NH. b minus a plus h by 2. Now apply h tends to 0. So I am getting b minus a. This will become h0. So this will become this. So if I am taking b minus a common, I am getting a plus b minus a by 2. So I am getting b minus a 2a plus b minus a by 2. So finally I will be getting b minus a by 2a minus a. So this will become plus a by 2. So b square minus a square. So you will be getting same answer. So this is the question related to limit as a sum. Now come to the next question. In question number 2, you will be having 0 to 5 x plus 1 dx. Okay, if I want to check the answer directly, what we need to do? You know the integration, x square by 2 plus x, upper limit minus lower limit. So you will be getting 25 by 2 plus 5. So that means 25 plus 10, 35 by 2. So your final answer will be this. Now again, if I'll talk about the algorithm, what you need to do? a to b, this is the formula, as a limit of sum. So what you need to do, limit h tends to 0, h f of a plus h, f of a plus 2h, and f of a plus n minus 1 h. Now see, what is your fx? Fx is x plus 1, lower limit 0, upper limit 5, nh is b minus a, so nh you will be getting 5 minus 0, this value will use it. Now if I'll talk about question, question is what? A to b means 0 to 5, x plus 1 dx, limit h tends to 0, apply the f of a is 0, f of 0 plus h, f of 0 plus 2h, and this is f of 0 plus n minus 1h. So basically limit h tends to 0, h, f of 0, f of h, f of 2h, and this is f of n minus 1h. Now see, fx is what? Fx is x plus 1. If fx is x plus 1, f of 0 is 0 plus 1, and this is f of h plus 1, this is 2h plus 1 as function, and this is n minus 1h plus 1. Now n how many times? N minus 1 plus 1 extra, so that means n times. So 1 into n, how many h I am having extra? H, 2h, so I am taking h terms together. So limit h tends to 0, h. Now if I'll take h common, I am getting 1 plus 2, and this is again the same formula. Why this is same formula? I told you. Okay, you know that 1 plus 2 plus n, 1 plus 2 plus n will be n plus 1 by 2. Instead of n, you will be having n minus 1. So replace n with n minus 1. This thing you need to remember. So limit h tends to 0, h, n, this will become n is n minus 1, n minus 1 plus 1, this is n by 2. So while taking h, so this will become nh. This nh you can take together because this is multiplication. This nh you can take together. So you will be getting value of nh. Value of nh is 5 minus h by 2. Put the value of h. So limit h tends to 0. 5 plus 20. Sorry, this I need not to write. So final answer you will be getting 35, 5 by 2. Same answer you are getting. Now come to the question number 4th. Third is same. So you will be getting the part of 4th like this. So 4 x square minus x dx. Okay, if I'll talk about this question, what we need to do? Now I am not telling you the answer. You can calculate it directly that what will be your answer. We'll straight away start with the question and let's see what answer we are getting. Fine. Okay. Now again, formula you are already aware. F of x is what? F of x is x square minus x. Okay. This time if I'll talk about a to b, 1 to 4, x square minus x dx, limit h tends to 0. So I am getting h, f of a is f of 1 because a is 1, b is 4 and nh is b minus a. That means 4 minus 1. So you will be getting 3. F of 1 plus 2h, f of 1 plus 3 Okay, 3h we are not supposed to write. You can go for the last term. 1 plus n minus 1h. Now you need to calculate the values of these. Now see, f of x is x square minus x. So f of 1 will be 1 square minus 1. So you will be getting 0. Okay. If I'll talk about f of 1 plus 2h. So 1 plus 2h square minus 1 plus 2h. X is 1 plus 2h. So a square plus b square plus 2ab minus 1 minus 2h. So 1 will become cancel out. I am getting 4h square plus 2h. Now come to the next term. F of 1 plus 3h. So 1 plus 3h square minus 1 plus 3h. So a square plus b square plus 2ab. 6h minus 1 minus 3h. So 1 will become cancel out. So 9h square, and this 6 minus 3, 3h. So similarly, last term is 1 plus n minus 1h. So I will be getting 1 plus n minus 1h. This is 1 plus n minus 1h. So a square plus b square plus 2ab minus 1 minus n minus 1h. So 1 will become cancel out. So I am getting n minus 1 square h square, and this is n minus 1h. Now come to the question. So 1 to 4 x square minus x dx will be limit h tends to 0 h f of 1 is 0. Then I am having 4h square plus 2h. Then I am having 9h square plus 3h. Then I am having n minus 1 square h square n minus 1 h this. So limit h tends to 0. Now see, I can take 4h square can be written as 2h square, 2h whole square, 3h whole square, n minus 1h whole square. So this is 2h. Then we'll be having, okay, instead of doing this, what can I do? Do write like this: 4h square, 9h square. Okay, we can attempt like limit h tends to 0. Firstly, we'll take 2h, 3h. First term is f of a. First term is f of a means 1. So I have done 1 minus 4. So 1 square minus 1. So first term definitive will become 0 only. If I'll talk about 4h square, 2h square, so 1 square, 2 square, 3 square. Okay, if I'll go like this, this is 2 square. And if I'll talk about this, because fx is x square minus x. So if I'll talk about f of a, because first term is f of a, so f of 1 you will be getting 1 square minus 1 only. That is correctly 0. So this I have already done. So f of 1 plus 2h will give you 4h square a square plus b square plus 2ab minus 1 minus 2h. So you will be getting correctly. Okay. If I want to write, because I am getting something is missing. Now what I need to do basically, why I am getting 4h square, because first term should be 1 square or 1. Let me check the question again. Come back to the question again. 1 to 4 x square minus x. Then this is perfectly correct. Then x square minus x dx. Limit h tends to 0 h. F of a is 1. F of a plus, yes. Here is the mistake. We need to write f of a plus h. F of a. That's why I am getting 3. So this is the mistake. 1 plus 2h I have already calculated. So f of 1 plus h is 1 plus h square. So this is the mistake. That's why we are not getting 1 square or 1. So 1 plus h a square plus b square plus 2ab minus 1 minus h. So this one will become cancel out. So I am getting h square plus 2h. Now see, f of a plus h, f of a plus 2h, f of a plus n minus 1h. So f of a is perfectly correct. 1 square minus 1, this is correct. Now see the question again. F of 1 plus h means a plus h. So a plus h whole square minus a plus h. A square plus b square plus 2ab minus 1. So h square 2h minus h will give you plus h. So h square plus h. 1 plus 2h, a square plus b square plus 2ab minus 1 minus. So 4h square plus 2h. This is also correct. Now, this term I do not require, but I can write later on. That's okay. And this is also correct. So, okay. This thing I need to remove. Now, we'll start with. So, limit h tends to 0. I am getting h. First term is 0. Then I am having h square plus h. Then 4h square plus 2h. Third term, fourth term I need not to write. I can go directly. N minus 1 square h square n minus 1 h. So this is the term I am getting. Now limit h tends to 0 h. Now what you need to do? Take h square term together. So what I am getting? H square, 4h square, this term, this term, this term. N minus 1 square h square plus take this term h plus 2h plus n minus 1h. That's why we are getting that error. Now limit h tends to 0 h. Take h square common. 1 can be written as 1 square. 4 can be written as 2 square. So n minus 1 square. Then we'll be having h common. 1 plus 2 plus n minus 1. Now we can apply the formula. Limit h tends to 0 h square. Now see, sum of square of terms formula is what? N plus 1, 2n plus 1 by 6. And sum of, this is the formula for this. So I am writing perfectly. And sum of n terms is, you already know, n plus 1 by 2. Now instead of n I am having n minus 1. So this will become n minus 1. N minus 1 plus 1. So this will become n. And this is 2n minus 2 plus 1. So I am getting 2n minus 1 by 6 h n minus 1 n by 2. Now take h inside. Now we will be having 3h. So 1 h you need to take with 1 term. nh minus h nh 2nh minus h upon 6, and this is nh minus h, and this will become nh by 2. The value of nh is 3. So limit h tends to 0. 3 minus h 3, 6 minus h by 6, 3 minus h 3 by 2. So by putting h as 0, you will be getting 3 into 3 into 6 by 6, 3 into 3 by 2. 6 will become cancel out. So 9 plus 9 by 2. 18 plus 9 by 2. So final answer is 27 by